now that we understand, kind of the mindset behind things and where we're going, let's make goals. This is one of the most important sections in the entire program. This is how to set goals. Actually, will guarantee you to have success using a proven, repeatable process that's designed for anyone to use. Whether you're brand new and just now getting into investing or building wealth, or if you're already super seasoned and have lots of credibility, accolades, and investments already. This will help either one of you guys at a whole new level because goal settings again is a different beast. And there are a million ways to do this, but for testing it over and over again, this is by far the best way out there. So let's jump into my laptop screen right now. Or break down kind of the money school royal life. And today we're going to cover setting financial goals that actually are going to give you success that you're looking for. I'm going to break down why should we make goals in the first place. Identifying financial priorities. This one is key because a lot of financial priorities, but there are some that are more important than others, especially given timelines. So we want to identify these as fast as possible. The power of using a SMART goal, which is one of the most powerful ways of having goal setting actually work for you, and you need a plan to get there. I'm going to break down the 3 types of goals to set. Yes, there are 3 main types of goals. This can come down to financial point of view that you should be setting every so often. And then finally, we'll be talking about adjusting goals and overcoming obstacles. Because let's face it, it's life. Things happen. So there'll be tons of ways to adjust and pivot and overcome to get to our finish line. So I'm going to break down that as well for you. Here's a whole package deal moving forward. Now, again, make sure you shut off all your screens. All you should have is either your phone to take notes on, your iPad for notes, or better yet, a piece of paper or notebook. Make this the most important thing that you do. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell the ones you care about that you're busy for the next hour or so, trying to build up your financial wealth for them and for yourself. Treat this like it's going to make you 6 to 7 plus figures. This will happen in a few months to a year to more, depending on how fast and where you're starting from. Again, we don't promise you the moon. Make sure you have concrete evidence that's to get you to your goals as fast as possible. And this claim is more than possible for you. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and YouTube, both just our names. You can find us separately, obviously, Jordan Super and Melanie Super. We post daily content every single day that's exclusive for more context for you guys, and it's more value as well. And of course, make sure you share this course with others. Let's help everyone achieve freedom together. Again, I believe that the top should be super crowded because we brought our friends with us. So bring your friends with you. They will thank you for it. It will give you some goodwill as well. People like people that help them. So help your friends and your family by sharing this course with them too. Now again, those probably watching this far into the course, unless you're skipping around super quickly, this is who I am. I hate talking about myself, but I need some context and show you what I can do to help you out. I've been published in tons of publications from USA News, Maximum USA Today, from breaking records from selling houses, all the way to having a huge team, to becoming a millionaire, and so forth. I also run one of the top teams in the country at my brokerage out of 90,000 agents globally. We've been a lot of $1.3 billion in real estate and best-selling author, TV show host. I reach millions of people every single month. And I've saved my clients 6+ figures on this buy side and made them just as much on the sell side. So we help specialize help you guys buy and sell real estate as well. Not just teaching education, but taking on hands dirty for you, doing the hard work as well. And again, this is our best-selling book, Real Estate Secrets, is #1 for new book release right before selling Census Store and right next to Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets. Again, this is my team ranking, or top 13 All USA. Number 1 for Texas, number 1 for Austin week to date, and overall number 2 in Austin, Texas, as a self-organized team. We're one of the best agents out there, the team that I run with my wife, Melanie. This is a TV show that is 2-time Emmy nominated. It's on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, HGTV, and a lot more. There are millions and millions of viewers on this platform. We showcase our clients on the buy or sell side, and also just the lifestyle in general here in Austin, Texas. And then the best thing about what we've done so far, in my opinion, is gotten financial freedom, meaning that my wife right now is about to have our baby boy pretty soon, and we are able to take off and relax and hang out with him and watch him grow and still have income coming to us. Now, again, like he's watching for long, I love to work. I'm gonna work all the time because this is my passion, my purpose, helping you also have financial freedom and a huge net worth and wealth and a life that you want, mostly freedom, and this is why we still do it. But financial freedom from 1 year, we're kind of learning these skills for ourselves later on after being focused on doing this one activity. And again, I'm not a special case study. If I can do this, so can you. I was homeless off and on from 12 to 18, born with lead poisoning, molested. Violence is my earliest memories as a kid. I had all the cards stacked against me, and I was poor than poor, like poor. Some days I didn't eat food. Obviously, most I was couch surfing, sleeping on benches every now and then. And luckily, I did not give up or stop or become a statistic. So instead, I invested thousands and thousands and thousands of hours into my education about business and real estate and finances and financial literacy and real estate, obviously, money and so much more. And now, because of that, I was privileged enough to be invested over 6 figures more, multiple 6 figures by now, into my education about these same topics. For those of you right now watching this, I'm going to fast track your growth curve, your learning curve, as quickly as possible and help you avoid having to spend the countless hours watching the wrong stuff, reading the wrong books, doing the wrong things, buying the wrong courses, books, mentors, the whole 9 yards, and have all in one spot for you, helping you get your goals as fast as possible. Sound good? Perfect. Now let's get into the real meat of this, because it's not about me, it's about you and your finances. So here we're going to break down how to really break down a goal setting for you guys. So what percent of people do you think have a goal? Let me know. Actually, we always do this right now, or else probably after this whole call, probably know the answer already. But write down a piece of paper. What do you think is percent of people that have a goal right now in the whole world? Because it might shock you, the answer. Who agrees that it is everyone? Right? It makes sense. Everyone has a goal. Some agree. At least that's what we think, It's not entirely true. So right now, write down one goal on a piece of paper. So a piece of paper, a notepad, your phone, does not matter. Write it down right now. What is one goal you want to achieve? It could be this week, this month, this year, this decade. It's up to you. But on a piece of paper or some kind of thing, you can write on top of it, put down one goal that you have. It could be big, small, does not matter. All you need is one goal. Your goal could be finishing this video. You just need one goal. You got it? Perfect. So, by you doing that, you are now among the top 3% in the whole world. It's crazy, right? That one small action put you ahead of 97% of the whole population. Mind-blowing, right? How did that even happen? Something so simple as writing down your goal on a piece of paper has propelled you to be one of the top 3% people in regards to mindset and goal setting by that one simple action. And this is why. Studies have discovered this. 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolution every year. 8. So people might have goals, but of those, 8% of people actually achieve it. Why is that? And then 83% of people doesn't have any goals. Not one. Crazy. I'm sure, like me, when you got asked the question, how many people in the world have a goal? You said everybody has some kind of goal. Lose weight, find a spouse, be better, X, Y, and Z, make more money, get promotion. Everyone has some kind of goal. Well, according to colleges, this is actually studies that I've researched, make sure that it was concrete and real. 83% of populations doesn't have a single goal, not one. And 14% of people that have a goal in their mind, but isn't written down. 14% of them. So they may have a goal, but most of the people who have goals, they're just in their mind. 14% of people have goals. So the 83% of the population with no goals, it kind of breaks down. Now, it's kind of a backtrack with fact about this one. Earl Nightingale was like the OG, personal development guru and coach out there. And he has a study, video called The Most Interesting Facts About the World. And he says if you ask 100 people in your neighborhood right now, you can do this if you want to, you can knock on the door of every single person in probably a 2-3 block radius, 100 people, and you ask them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Neighbor, I live down the street from you. I'm just curious, and this is kind of random, but do you have a goal that you're trying to pursue right now? And 80 of them, technically 83 of them, would say no. That is mind-blowing. 83% of people will tell you no. Now those people, on next point, will say, hey, I have a goal, but you ask them, okay, great, like, can I see it? Like, is it written down someplace? 14% of those will have that. Meaning like 10 people, of the 83, so like, 17 people left, 10 of those actually have a goal written down, a little more. And only 3% of the population has a written goal. And you are part of that. By having a goal on a piece of paper, you're among the top 3% of people. And then to go out and backtrack even more to the first point, 8% of people achieve their goal. So if you ask everybody in that 100 people in the neighborhood, maybe 1 to 8 of them achieve their goal. Technically 8 of them will achieve their goal, but only 1 or 3 of them had a huge goal and achieved that one. And it's not because they are better than other people. It's because they understand this one topic, the power of goal setting. And you, again, having your goal on a piece of paper, congrats to you again, makes you in the top 3%, that much closer to achieving your dreams, wherever they may be. Everything in life starts with a goal/vision. Here's the proven and repeatable process designed to help you achieve your goals as fast as possible. I've been trying to chase my dreams and goals since I was a little boy. I've been, I said before, spending lots of money, time, resources, seeing coaches, some of the best in the world outside of myself, to learn these strategies. And this is the most boiled down version, great for you, help you get as fast as possible. So number 1, why should we make goals? This is one of the most biggest determining factors to getting what you want. Crazy, right? Something so simple. has a huge factor in our lives by having a goal in the first place. So why should we make goals? One, it gives us direction and purpose, aka our North Star. Our North Star is something bigger than us. Normally, if you ask, for those here who are like a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, he's a big marketer, most of you probably know his North Star is to buy the Jets. You probably guessed it if you watch him. Because we know his North Star. Most people who are highly successful will sell that vision, that purpose, that direction they're trying to get to, and that North Star with others, so they can rally behind them. If you watch me for long, you know that my North Star is to eventually build cities like Dubai that are sustainable, renewable, luxurious, and also kind of like the cornucopia and utopia almost in some degrees. Obviously, no one is going to make that the utopia city, but as close as we can to that. To help over 1 billion people before I pass away. That is my North Star. People can get behind that, I can ride for that, I can get, oh wow, I want to be part of that too. So for you, you should find out your goal. This is going to be your biggest goal. What is your big North Star? Your North Star could be as complex as making a non-profit to help the homeless, or to help dogs or pets, to making schools, to making cities that I want to make, and so much more. Or this is, simple as paying off your kids' debt when they're out of college, or paying for their college, or retiring your parents. These are all North Stars. There's no limit to how large, or how noble, how vast or small your North Star is. It's personal, up to you. You should share with other people so they know how they can help you get there, but as your North Star. And then it helps with measuring our progress. Having goals, especially written down, allows us to know, are we in the right direction? How close are we to getting our goals? When you do this correctly, it's a really clear path. You can see night and day, okay, here's my goal, here's where I'm at, this is what I can do differently to adjust to get there. It also allows us to keep us motivated and focused. Because you probably have tried before for other goals, it gets hard. That's why 8% of people achieve them. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? So having our goals on paper, or having a goal in general, will make us more motivated and more focused on achieving that. Like for me, my goals are on my wall. If I look in any direction in my office, I can see my goal to some degree. From vision boards, to just a piece of paper saying what my goals are, to action steps, daily schedules, and a lot more. It keeps me focused in the game to keep on going and building. And I said this before in the last couple of videos, having your why, your two whys, internal and external, even more important, help us stay more motivated and focused as well. You'll be 10 times more likely to achieve it, and as high as 76 to 90% success rate. Wild, right? And again, these are all proven by studies by leading colleges that have majored in IO psychology, which is my major in college, was industrial organizational psychology, which is a fancy way of saying we study goal setting, performance, success, organizations, and people as a whole. In that regard, it's like a business setting. And part of that is going to be your goal is how much more likely you are to achieve them. So having a goal makes you 10 times more likely to achieve it. This is insane. 10 times more. And your success rate will be 70% to 90% chance. So I think it's worth it to write down a goal to have that much more success and opportunity to achieve them. I think so. That's why you're here right now. You think so too. And it allows us to readjust and pivot. Again, like I said before, life is crazy. Things happen every single day. From flat tires, low income months, being sick, making lots of money, things change. You can pivot in two directions, in a bad way or a good way. I believe that there's always momentum, but the momentum goes in both directions. It goes to negative or positive. Our goal is to adjust and pivot as quickly as possible towards the right direction, to more good things. As soon as it happens, double down when it's already happened for us as well. Number 2, identifying financial priorities. Focus is key when achieving goals. Focus is key when achieving goals. A lot of people say, focus is like focus on one course of action until we get there. Obviously, a little different because it's not a correct acronym. That's what it pretty much means. Focus on one course of action until we solve it, until we succeed. Identifying financial priorities. Every person is different, so we need different priorities. This is why I'm so anti, just reading books or just having people tell you what you should be doing. Listen to a podcast, even like this as well. I want to make sure it's structured in a way that's different for each person, because there's no cookie cutting solution when it comes to our finances. Everyone's different. Different skill sets, different backgrounds, life circumstances, different jobs, goals, whole nine yards. This is why understanding this is so powerful. But then you can become your own guru almost, and have me and other people as well who we're working with for more structure and guidance along the way. But every person is different, so we need different priorities. If you're a person right now and you're making, let's say, $200K a month, your priorities are a lot different than someone that makes $2K a month. You're working on much different things. Well, it's so important to understand what are your priorities. What are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve the long-term game, making lots of wealth, net worth, or high income, or trying to make charities, cities, and so forth. What is your goal? This is how you kind of break down the first step of that. A next point of how to kind of financial priorities is needs versus wants. There are 3 main things to break down here. 1, to understand your priorities, you have to understand your needs versus your wants. It's really easy to know the difference in some ways. So right now, let's say I'm thirsty. Do I need my water or do I want my water? Before long, I will need it. That's how you can tell. Where are you on the metric? And a lot of people tell me, I need to watch TV. Do you need to watch TV or do you want to watch TV? 2 different things. And like a point further than that, time in my mind is the most valuable asset that you have. Money comes and goes. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. So if I spent an hour or 2 making this, that time is gone. But for me, it's a good investment in my time and you people as well watching this. But if I watch TV, not only did I pay for the TV, it cost me money, which was a want, not a need. But on top of that, I also have now sunk time. In my mind, I don't want to not use the TV because I paid for it. It's a waste of money in my mind to not use it. And if I add up every single dollar that it takes me to watch the shows and so forth, I'm going to add that time that I could be using to build my skill sets, to make this, to make more money, and so forth. To think that just watching TV, playing games is one little thing, but actually compounds on itself. A little bit of tangent, I know, but I think it's really important to understand our needs versus our wants. That it goes into all areas of our life. What we really need is a house to live in. We need food and water. We need people in our lives to make us feel better, more engaged, or social beings. We need to make an impact. But I probably don't need some ice cream. I just want that. It's good, but I don't need it. Same for all needs and wants when it comes to our cars and all fancy houses. Do I need a fancy house or do I want a fancy house? Because I can probably be just fine in a small place. Now, it's okay if you have the means to want these bigger things. You totally want that. I want a huge, estate with tons and tons of acres, like a castle almost. I want that. I don't need it, but I'm okay buying it. This is why the money score and the philosophy of having freedom is so important. At some point, you should be able to spend what you want on your wants. After your needs are met, you have enough left over afterwards. Next point is our personal and family goals. This is also a big point to understand our priorities. If my family needs to go on a trip toward colleges, what college do we need? And it also goes back to them as well. Do they need college or do they want college? Does the job they're doing require an education from college? That is part of that. Family goals, again, it could be like, I want to take a vacation this year. Do we need a vacation or do we want a vacation? You can see that needs and wants stems from everything else afterwards moving forward. And personal goals. Let's say my personal goal is to buy a Lamborghini car. Do I need it or do I want it? And then do these goals help me? And I'll kind of break down the real strategy I use to kind of understand my priorities when it comes to finances and goals and so forth. But this is your rule of thumb to think about when you're doing it. And then the last one of these three is future aspirations. This is also something to gauge as well for priorities. If my future aspiration is to have a huge retirement fund or to buy enough rental properties that takes care of me and my family after I'm old and retired, then I see making sure it's a huge priority for myself. A lot of people in our society are really fixated on just their current life and maybe a few weeks or a month ahead. But you gotta plan out, decades, 5, 10, 20, 50 plus years from now, have a huge impact. And it's crazy. If you knew the way it normally works, that most Americans will have a 401k and their goal is to save up around $2 million, if that. And most of them only get around $1.6 million if they're lucky, normally like $800K saved up in the 401k. And we use a thing called 2% law, the 4% law. So the banks would give you 4% to live off of every single year of that money until you're no longer with us, unfortunately. And then say for easy math, we do $1 million. That means you're making $40,000 a year. $40,000 a year versus $3,333 per month that you're making. Again, most people who are retiring don't even save up $1 million, but for easy math here, that means you get $3K a month. Does that sound like a good retirement to you? To most of you, probably not. To some, yeah, that's what I make right now. That's great. How can we increase that? What can we do to buy more of that? That's why I'm always thinking about how can we have more frequent aspirations that will give us the life that we want, and what can we do now to fast track that as quickly as possible. And then next one is to rank your financial goals in order of importance and urgency. And a huge emphasis on importance and urgency there. Like I said before, if you have a credit card that charges you 50%, you should pay that one off first, the interest rates. But if you have a credit card that is 0%, that one can wait for a while. Pay for one that are more pressing. For your houses, is your house a huge importance and urgency to pay off? Probably not. If you have a 30-year loan, you can pay off every so often. Again, pro tip, pay it off every 2 weeks. So do half payments every 2 weeks and ask your lender to apply half of that into your principal. By doing this, you pay off your house by 5 to 10 years max, maybe 15 if you're lucky, quicker. Crazy, right? Same amount of payments, nothing's changed. You just ask for more money to the principal. It's going to save you 6 to 7 figures by itself and your interest rates. So your interest would be 6 to 7 figures by the end of the whole term. This way, you cut it off by a lot more, pay off your house faster, and save my money. So this is a little hack you can do for yourself, kind of maximize your returns and buy a house quicker. Again, I think your home could be a good asset if you use it as your bank. See more stuff going on, but that being aside, rank your stuff by importance and urgency. If you have taxes or due as an employee or entrepreneur, you should probably make that an urgent task for you to pay off first or to save up for. If you have high credit cards, same thing. High loans, same thing. Categorize it by what is taking the most amount of money from you every single month. And then create your budget. Should be done by now. We did this a couple sessions ago. But your budget is going to be your goalpost almost on how to allocate these funds. You should have all your stuff in one spot already saying, this is my credit card, this is the interest rates, this is my loan for this is my interest rates, and so forth, and pay off based on that. So highest interest rates first to lower ones. That's how I categorize mine. I find my highest yields and take that one off first and go from there. And then when it comes to like needs and wants and personal financials, like my needs, I pay with my income, or now most of my passive income, and then also my wants, the same thing. If I want to buy a trip, do I have enough passive income for my assets to pay for that? Like for me, I should never pay a want with my active income. Because to me, I'm just losing and wasting money. Same for personal and family. Personal and family stuff, how can I make my assets pay for that? And or how can I get my people, my family, invested into those goals? If I say, hey, kids, if we as a unit clean the house more, or we get a pay raise from my job by me learning more skills, we will go on vacation. Now my family is invested in me learning these skills and taking time to buy courses, to take my curriculums that my job offers me, or so forth, to get them. How can we do invested into this? Future operations, again, just find out the math that you want. What will be your dream life? How much income a month will give you the life that you always wanted? And then reverse engineer that backwards to get there quicker. And then map out the ideal timeline to follow. Again, taxes, that's 1 year. Credit cards, you should pay it off as fast as possible. I think credit cards are great because they all kind of like a loan that you can use for your business, or use for your net worth, and use for your wealth building. But if it's being used to buy bags and food and other things, now it becomes a liability. So you gotta use cards correctly. If they're all super high, find out how much you're losing every single month by having that, and then trying to get it paid off as fast as possible. That adds up and builds up even faster. And then number 3, the power of smart goal. A goal without a plan is only a dream. So smart goals is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So I'm just going to break down for you guys how I do this on my stuff. I'm going to use kind of like 2 to 3 examples. I'll use one as an employee, one as an entrepreneur. I'll use one that's like outside of this finances. Because again, smart goals works for everything. Alright, so let me pop in here. So you should be able to see my screen now for my iPad. There we go. So this is how I did my smart goals. So you have smart. So specific to the first one. So if your specific goal that you have for yourself, I'll do employees first and go down to entrepreneurs and then it's life in general. For the first one, if it's a employee, let's say your goal is to make enough money to get a down payment for a house. Let's say if your average price point in your city is $300,000 and you got paid 20% down, meaning that you need to have, just around $60K in down payments. So down payment for home, 0K, 20% equals 60K. All goal is specific. I'm trying to buy a house. I want to use this as my anchor. Now, pro tip for you, if you are a first-time home buyer, you can actually buy a house with 3 to 5% down instead, using an FHA loan. This allows you to now buy a house instead of spending, 60K, to spend like 3K, 10K instead. That is a massive, massive difference for your kind of turn on returns for you. I'd much rather spend 9K to 12K for 3.5% down payment plus closing costs versus 60K for my first property. Again, if you need help buying or selling real estate, we're here for you. That is one part of this. So that is your goal. Now this is measurable. I can measure 60K or let's say 10K if it's FHA loan. And then it is achievable. Now the timeline makes a big difference. We get to pretty soon. But there are people who are buying homes every single day. I know for a fact that I help them buy homes every single day. So we definitely know it's achievable. So I can do check. I can do check for this. And then for realistic, again, realistic buying houses, especially at that price point, is more realistic. And then that is also check. And then timeline. Now for getting $60,000, this will change our timeline. If my timeline to buy a property is going to be a year, probably not that realistic. It will change my other variables. Saving 60K is pretty hard feat depending on how much money you make. And in America, the median income is around $4,700 a month supposedly, and the average is $4,900 a month. Let's say it's 5K. So if that's 5K and you live off of 3K per month, you can save up 2K. That means in around 3 years, you have enough income left over after the 2K to now buy your house. You all follow that math? So let's say you make 5K, you save 2K times 30 months equals 60K. So just over 2.5 years, 2.5 years actually on the dot, you can now buy a house. And honestly, this is a good goal for most people to have 2 years in the first place. Because if you want to buy a house, you have the same job for 2 years before you can do that. And you also want to make sure you have steady income and good enough credit. And the reason why most people never have home ownership or other goals happening in their lives, I think that 2 years is too long. But for myself, my wife got pregnant like yesterday in my mind, and she's due any moment now. Crazy, 9 months flew by. At times flying by either way. And you ask yourself, go back to the last slide we saw, is priority what you want? Why is this your goal? Is it a need or a want? Do you want this house or you need the house? And then for my goal setting, this is how I kind of break down that as well. I kind of see what is my goal in that timeline? I know every single month I gotta save up $2,000 to get there. It allows me to understand that math. So that small goal is really powerful. And then when you're doing the small goals, you gotta find out what to cut out. So what to cut. Have an actionable step. If you normally spend all 5K, what can I cut every single month? Could be drinking, could be fast food, could it be coffee? All these things add up. If you have coffee every single day for a whole year, and it says $5, that means you spent around 2K right there on drinking coffee. Now, let's say fast food's one. Let's say you eat out every other day. So 15 days of the month. And each time it's like $40. 15 times 30 times 600. That means it's $18,000 right there in 1 year by cutting food. So if your goal is to buy this house quicker, what can you do to get there faster? It also works for credit cards as well. If we did a different math, same thing, we still do employee. My SMART goal is pay off. Let's say I pay off credit cards. And say that my credit card is 10K with a 18% rate as a high priority. You should pay that off as fast as possible. But not only you have inflation, which is around 10%, plus that means you're losing out on 28% of your dollar every year, or more than that, every month. And then is it measurable? Yeah, I can measure 10K. And by measurement, I actually would do 10 divided by 12 is 120. A month, achievable, yes. Realistic, yes. Timeline, as fast as possible. And you should adjust it based on how fast you can pay off your credit cards and why you want to pay off your credit cards. So if I want to pay off my credit card because it just eating out my bank account, that's a good goal. But for this kind of stuff, 1 to 12 months is a good goal for this. So if I have my goal of paying off my credit cards, I can either spend 10 months to get there, or 12 months to get there, at 120, and then again, back to cutting off stuff. What can I replace with it? Maybe I don't need to change my life that whole much. Like, I don't need to make more money. I could just stop eating out on fast food, or stop drinking instead, or stop doing X, Y, and Z. Or for 1 year, I will stop going to shows. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, but Jordan, I love those things. I love those things too. It's fun to eat good food. I don't drink or smoke or nothing like that, but like, I like good food. And I know that if I had this going on, it's a good investment for me to be out of the shackles and debt of bad debt instead, and use that capital to pay back myself quicker. So this is how you use goal setting, smart goals on that timeline. Really, really simple, but it gives us a plan. And then you give yourself a reward after you're done. So you reward yourself once you complete your task. And then if I'm doing a entrepreneur, let's say you're a real estate agent like me, or it's a salesperson, a college person, doesn't matter what it is. Let's say you're an entrepreneur, and your SMART goal. This also applies to anybody watching this. If you're an employee, you can also have a side job too. It doesn't have to be real estate. I won't even use real math here for commissions for making it easy as possible. But let's say SMART goal is I want to make $300,000. As a SMART goal. It's specific, that's what I want to do. It's measurable, yeah. For me to get there, I want to measure it by months. So it's a year-long plan. So if I did that, that'd be 25K a month. I can measure that. I can measure all that. So this would be a check. Achievable? Yeah, definitely check. People on my team had made that in like 2 months alone. So you can definitely do that if you know what you're doing. Realistic? Yeah, super realistic. Timeline, 12 months. Now, the more detail you can add to your goal setting, the better. If I'm doing my goals in this regards, I'm gonna say, okay, great. My goal is to make 25K. The average price point in Austin is $500,000. May make 15K per transactions. If I do 2 deals that are at 30K for me, $1 million total, I mean I do 2 deals a month equals 30K. That is $1 million. That is my goal there. That means for me to get my 300 transaction, I have to then do 12 deals in 12 months. So I gotta break it down on a monthly goal or a yearly goal. If it's a monthly goal, then I do 1 transaction worth $1 million, or I have to do 2 transactions that breaks down to the same kind of point for me too. So 1 deal a month. We go there. Now, even further than that, if you're doing a sales position, how many people would it take you to reach those 1 transaction? Law averages states if I meet 10 people, one of them will say yes and work with you. So it takes me 10 people to get 1 yes, 1 deal. Now, for me to get 10 leads, it's going to take me probably 100 people met. So 100 people to meet them to get 1 transaction. And I gotta get 12 transactions going for myself. So that also means that I have to meet around 1,200 people in 12 months. It's a big number, right? 1,200 people in 12 months. But instead, if I break down the math on a daily basis, that is 3 new people a day. That's my goal, to get that math down. I mean, 3 people every single day. Again, if you are a employee, you can do the same kind of math for real estate. If I want to buy houses and I make cash flow $100 per door, and my goal is to replace my income, how many properties do you need to own to make that happen? If you make the average, $5,000 per month, I need 50 homes to do that. I need to buy 50 properties to get 5K a month in positive cash flow. And have enough money left over to still pay off the other houses, to take care of stuff that breaks down, and so forth, and property managers. $100 that we're going. We made more than that, but you should keep around that much per month. So I'd be the math for that instead. And then for down payments, again, if I'm buying homes in Austin and each one costs me $60K, I have to buy $3 million in properties. Now, the cool thing about real estate is, and that's a huge number, you can use your houses as your bank and use the equity to buy the next property. So you can say year 1, you bought 1 property, but year 2, you have 2 properties. You have double the equity. Year 4, you have 4 properties, and then so forth and so forth and so forth. You can probably get that goal in like 10 years. It's a much faster path to financial freedom and a much faster path to retirement, and you still work while you have that income coming in, making it even quicker next time. That is easy math there. And then on a more kind of broad case there, let's say our math now is this general, and you want to lose weight. So now I'm doing this. I want to lose 15 pounds before summer. Measurable? Yes. Achievable? Yes. Realistic? Yes. Timely? Let's say it's 8 months. Let's say it's 7 months. That means that they'll lose like 2 pounds, 2.2 pounds a month. So 2.2 pounds a month lost. And then do the same exact math of we did before. What level of diet do I need? Because goals are 2 parts. It's the goal itself and the action afterwards. The action is more important than the results. It's all about habits. I know that my normal calorie is 3,000 calories a day to stay at my current weight, and I go to 2,200 calories a day to lose 1 pound a month, or probably a week. That means in 4 weeks, I lost 4 pounds lost. There's 4 pounds lost. So I found a way to make my goal a little quicker. So it takes me actually 3 months just about to get my goal of 15 pounds lost instead of 7 months. What can you do as well to make that happen quicker? You can adjust this at the same exact time. This is kind of a live example for you all to kind of see how I do SMART goals. For me, the easiest way to do SMART goals is actually obviously paying off debts, buying for a house, making more money, especially the easiest one for me because it's real about all numbers and stuff as well. This is how we kind of break down that for ourselves. So close this out. And then back to our slideshow. And then after this call, or we have time, go to a group and then write down what is your goal that you have for either this month, next 6 months, 12 months, or longer, and what is your action steps to get there? What actions will you take to make that happen for yourself? Again, action is way more important than results. The results will take care of themselves if you do the work. Habits are over everything. And for me, I have a daily habit tracker that I use. But every single day, I do the same activities, and I know if I do these activities, that my goals will happen inevitably. Same for yourself. Use SMART goal. So by having your SMART goals in place, you're more likely to achieve them by a lot. Number 4, there are 3 types of goals to set. Not all goals are created equally. So again, what are your guesses for the 3 types of goals you should have? So right now, write down a piece of paper. What are 3 goals that you should have right now? It may shock you. Well, I'm sure that when I first saw this a long time ago, I thought it was totally different from what it actually is. The 3 types of goals you should have. So 3 types of goals you should set. Number 1 is your short-term goals. Short-term goals. This is 0 to 1 year. 0 to 1 year. Your short-term goal. This is a emergency fund, a small debt, or even vacation. Because again, you worked hard, you should have fun as well. But small debts, 5, 10, 20K, pay that off super easily. We just did the math. If I stop eating out every other day for a month, cost me $40. That's $18,000 I just found. Crazy, right? We just found you 5 figures. You can buy a house so quickly with that. The hardest part about goal setting is 1, knowing how to do this. It sounds really simple, but you put it on paper and you can see, oh, this is why I'm doing this. This makes sense now. But when you just have it in your mind, there's no like reality set to it. So not eating out makes no sense. Like, why would I eat out? I love this kind of food, but I have a goal in my mind. Like, okay, great. If I don't eat out by the end of the year, I will have enough extra capital to pay off my credit card, to buy more homes, to surprise my family with a vacation, to make an emergency fund. Because again, if your life costs you, let's say, $3K a month, and you just save up $18,000, 9K in 6 months, that means you just saved up 3 months of safety net emergency fund in 6 months. So you can use that capital now for other things instead. Then the next one is medium-term goals. This is 1 to 5 years. 1 to 5 years are medium-term goals. Again, if you can plan long-term, you're guaranteed for success. Guaranteed if you just plan long-term. Again, most people plan for the weekends. So, plan long-term. This is a down payment for a house, big loans, or even a new car. Like I said before, if you want to buy a house that is $300K, you need $60,000. Even with cutting out food and other things, it's going to take you a couple of years to get there. Now, I think that's a great investment because that house, now buying more homes or big loans, so 20, 40, 50K, if you have that kind of debt going on, that's also a medium-term goal, or even a new car. And then our last one is long-term goals. This is 5+ years. Anything that takes you more than 5 years is a long-term goal. And medium-term goal could be making a business, or even short-term goal, depending on the business. If the business is like, hey, I want to make a t-shirt business, you probably need more capital depending on how you do if you take drop shipping instead. Or your goal is like, I want to make a real estate business, that can be a medium-term goal, or even long-term goal. But long-term, more often than not, are retirement plans, school funds, and big investments like properties, commercial real estate. Obviously, you can buy stocks whenever you want for the most part, depending on the stock level, how much it costs, or invest into a fund. These things are big investments. Like my friend, his lowest amount he can invest in his fund is $250,000. The lowest amount that he would accept from people. It's a big investment. So it takes some people 5 years to get there. So that's why it's so important to understand what are your goals and why are you doing it. And then number 5, adjusting goals and overcoming obstacles. So if need be, change the route, but never the destination. It's totally fine to change how you get there, but know the destination, know where you're going, and always get them. That North Star, that's the ultimate goal. It's fine to change your action steps to get that goal. So adjusting goals. Number 1, review your progress weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Do it with yourself, do it with your friends you want to, your family especially, and even your coworkers you want, or your boss. You want to get a pay raise, say, hey, my goal is to get a raise. That could be a smart goal, and I need to do X amount of extra work. I'll read X amount of books. I take X amount of cases. You name it. You know your job more than I do, obviously. What is the requirement for that job? And every single week, month, quarter, and year, talk to your manager and your boss and say, hey, so far I've done this, this, and this. Am I on track to my goal? If we're buying real estate, I want to save up enough money to buy an investment property. Every single week, month, quarter, and year, break down your smart goal and the action steps you just made to make sure you're on the right path to get there. It's imperative to do that. Like I just did my weekly one today before this call. So I'm like, oh wait, this is what I've been doing already. Is goal setting with my wife. So we do this every single week, month, quarter, and year. Sounds obsessive, but it's also why we have the life that we want, because we do this so often. This allows us to get on the same page, financially, emotionally, spiritually, the whole 9 yards. We understand where we're going, where we're currently. Don't underestimate the power of doing this. So after this call, I want you to make a time that you're going to plan out every single same day, on a week, month, quarter, and year. At the end of the year, every single quarter ends, like, a fiscal quarter year, and every single month, at the end of the month. You should do this. And then set milestones to hit and rewards along the way. This is huge. So many people have goals, but they never reward themselves. And then they wonder why the goal never happens. It sounds counterproductive, right? Like, if I'm doing this stuff, my goal should happen. Yeah, it should happen. But the way the human mind works is that we don't think in terms of achieving goals. The human mind, the human body, just wants to survive. That's what we want to do. We want to survive and be comfortable. We're not like born and bred to be super ambitious. Some people have that trait, but like for the most part, that's not how people are wired. So if you don't reward yourself, your brain says, why am I doing this? I work so hard, I do all these things, but I'm not getting any kind of reward. I'm done doing this. And you self-sabotage. And so last time, the mindset, that happens more often than you think. It could be small rewards. It could be, if I hit this milestone of paying off $1,000 my credit cards, I will watch my favorite TV show. I will buy myself some junk food. I will do what you love. Rewards do not have to be grand. Like, if I pay off $1,000, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on this trip. You should not do that. You've wasted all that time. Give me small goals that are equal in proportion to the milestone. Like when my wife and I, remember back in the day, like we just made 18K in one day. We don't go out and blow 18K in a day. We say, okay, great, let's buy dinner. That's a nice place. Costs us like $300. That'll be a reward for us. We'll be like, okay, great. I want to reward my mind. Say, if I made this much money in one day, I want to reward that behavior and do more of that. So same applies for other things. Let's say that you just made a pay raise of 20K and your hobby is editing videos. You can buy Photoshop or buy, Filmora, something like that allows you to make more videos. Or you can hire an employee. For me, that is my favorite reward, is to do that, is to hire more staff and team members to work with me. So rewards and milestones, super important. So when you do your SMART goals and you have it broken down, don't just break down that you want to save up, 60K in 3 years. Because that whole time, there's no feedback loop saying you're getting closer. So say, okay, great, when I save 5K, I will tour home for fun. When I have 10K, I will buy a program about investing. On 15K, I will take my family to a restaurant. At 20K saved up, I will do what you love to do. Have milestones. And make sure it's long enough milestones to keep you in the game. I think for me, the goal is like every single week or 2 weeks, you should have some kind of milestones achievable to hit to keep you more motivated to keep on going. Kind of gamify it. And then adjust your goals based on income changes or life events. And this works in both ways. Again, the momentum. Income changes could be you lost your job, hopefully not, or you lost a big deal that you had, an entrepreneur, and that takes your income. What can you do differently to hit the goal still? And it's okay, again, to change the route. Don't change destination. If you were making 5K a month, and now you make 3K a month, and you can't save that much money, then instead of paying off $120 a month, pay off $30 a month. It's not as much, but at least you're still hitting your goals. You're still getting there. Action is everything. Eventually it will happen. Or the opposite, Let's say normally you make 5K a month, you got a big pay raise and upgrading your job, and you make 10K a month. And instead of upgrading your lifestyle with lifestyle creep too quickly, instead pay off more debt. Like use extra 5K to get caught up, and then make new goals to add on to your current goals. That works for life events and off income changes. And for me, a long time ago, my dog Lucky got sick, and his spleen about to erupt. So he took him to the veterinarian, and it cost us like $6,000, some crazy number back then. And we were like still getting all grooved and making more money, not super wealthy yet. And that 6K was a lot, but I want to make sure my dog was okay, so we gave him $6,000, and we adjusted our goals and adjusted our plan to fit that loss of money. I mean, for long, we are now super thriving because we did that. Same works for this as well. Adjust and change your plan based on what's going on in life. Life's not perfect. Which is also why having a safety net or emergency fund is so important when that does happen for you. And then seek out accountability and support. Right now, you're here. Again, we do a live Q&A once a week for you all. So you ask questions from us, get feedback from us, have more accountability, and so forth. Or, for bonus points, again, ask your friends, your family, your spouse, your partner, your dog if you want to. Bring them on this journey. Invite them to join this mastermind too. Join this community, this money school. Again, having accountability makes all a lot easier for you as well. And then never stop learning and investing in yourself. I know so many people that was super successful at one point in time, and then they stopped. So, great, I just made $1 million. I'm just gonna hang out and relax. And then they stop learning, they stop investing in themselves, they stop buying programs like this one, and so forth. And because of that, after a year or less, a couple of years, they lost everything. Because they weren't growing anymore. They were just living off of that, having fun, and not having smart goals. Your smart goals should always be growing, always be evolving. Albert Einstein says that the day that you stop learning is the day that you start dying. That's how he thinks. You always die in some way, not to be morbid, but he was so adamant about learning that he really linked them together. So always be learning, always be investing in yourself. You are your best investment, hands down. Because no one can take that from you. Which is why I've spent multiple 6 figures on my skills and over 1,000 hours of education. I still spend 30 minutes minimum to 2 hours a day learning to this day. I'm already a millionaire. I already have lots of accolades, success, and I still learn every single day. I still pay for mentors and coaches for myself even as well. It's that important. There's no threshold to stopping this. And you do these things, all conjunctions together, get on these calls, ask questions, leave questions on the forum, and so forth, you will get to your goals faster. And then learn and understand human psychology. This one, honestly, I think is the most important aspect to kind of master. I've read countless books about this. My major in college, I had a full ride to, 4.0 GPA, about psychology and business and marketing. And I use psychology more than anything else I've ever learned. Because psychology will dictate how we behave, how we act, how we invest, how we don't invest, how we handle our life changes as well. If you can learn human psychology, you will have all you want. I think this is more timeless than anything else you'll learn out there. The philosophy, psychology, and those kind of things are practical advices before the world was too distracted. So here's the first one I want you to kind of master for yourself. This is a cycle of our mind. This was first designed by Carl Jung, a world-class psychologist, and then he are part of the school You'll probably also think about this by Alex and Mosey. Talks about this a lot as well. But firstly, it's made by Carl Jung is how all our brains works. And if you learn this, it will change the way you do everything. I mean that. From investing, to dieting, to dating people, to your kids, everything. And here's how it works. Let's say you just saw this program. Like, man, this program sounds amazing. They promise no crazy get rich quick scheme. It's all practical. I can definitely get wealthy. You need proven, repeatable processes. I love this. And then you're uninformed, optimistic about it. Like, this looks so easy. Like, he just says, wait 1 to 5, 10 years, that timeline, or less if you're super ambitious, and I'll have my goals. This is guaranteed to happen. But then you have informed pessimism. Like, wow, this takes longer than I thought. Wow, this is harder than I thought. This is not as fun as I thought, or more work than I thought. Because taking care of our finances is work, unfortunately. And then we go down to crisis of meaning, saying, oh no, I made the wrong decision. And then what happens here is a couple of things. Normally, people don't crash and burn, because crash and burn means that they unalive themselves, as awful as that sounds. That's what normally that means, is crash and burn. People don't just crash and like stop doing everything. It never really happened. It's like sleeping on bridges. So normally happens is they go back to uninformed optimism. They say, oh, this person is teaching me how to make 50K in 30 days. Or this person said I can make 10K with no money down doing wholesaling. Or this person said I can become super famous in 1 week. We see all the clickbait stuff. Or we say, oh, my partner is not as fun as he used to be, or he used to be. And I'm going to look at this other person instead. And have uninformed optimism on a new thing. It's a shiny object. Same for jobs. Oh, I'm tired of working at my job. This other job seems great. Let me try that. I'm tired of this diet. I have crisis of meaning. This other diet looks amazing. Let's try that instead, right? This is how it sounds. Think about it. When the last time that you personally had something that you like, man, I love playing guitar. You play guitar for a few months, maybe a couple of years. And then out of nowhere, you just kind of stopped. You say, actually, I like playing banjo. I like playing piano. I like doing this other activity instead. Happened to you, right? Yeah, of course. We're human. This is how our brain works. Now, this is the sad reality that what normally happens. It repeats of us going through this vicious cycle of uninformed optimism to informed pessimism, the crisis of meaning, back to uninformed optimism, to informed pessimism, to crisis of meaning, back and back and back again. And you can see the trend that's going down. Because when you do this, we're restarting and starting so often that we're losing momentum in the wrong direction. And I've been there many, many times. I said before, I wrote books all the time, I did drop shipping, I did coaching in different capacity, I did restaurants that I owned, I did affiliate marketing, I done so many different businesses. And it all made me money. I had a marketing agency as well. That was probably my best one before my real estate stuff. And that one was good because I was there for longer. I just stuck with it longer and had more skills by that point as well. At some point, it's good to go through these cycles. I'm not saying you should not do that. If you're like your early 20s to 30, you should try as many things as possible. But you should also know that if you focus on one thing, which is this, you will be successful in anything. Doesn't matter what it is. There are a million ways to become successful, or have more success, or to get out of debt. And honestly, for debt and all that, it's pretty simple. Just have informed optimism, saying, if I stay in this long enough, it will work. And I know that it's hard. But eventually, I will get to my goal and achieve this. Because, if you look at the grass is greener on the other side, here's the sad truth. Every single yard, every single grass that you see has manure. Yep. Hate to break it to you, but every single grass has manure. There's new problems that's going to be there. Referencing Alex Emozi again, he's like, every single time you get better at business or get better at X, Y, and Z, a more beautiful woman in a red dress comes around and says, hey, let's do stuff together, leave that other thing behind. I can make you even more money, help you get even more quicker. And then she doesn't tell you about all the problems that she has, her craziness, or her X, Y, and Z, how he puts it. It happens more and more and more. Now, where you go, no what business you do, this will happen. This is why I think this is the most powerful thing to avoid. Don't go into crisis meaning, uninformed optimism. Instead, go to informed optimism. You know it's hard. I said before, if making wealth, making right decisions were easy, everyone will be doing it. This is why so few do it. Also why you are among the top 3%. It will go on paper. Most people don't do it. So instead, they make a new year resolution, realize how hard it was, get informed pessimism about it, crisis meaning happens, and they kick off of it. They abort the mission. Don't abort. Stay the course. Stay in it. I promise you. Stay in this program. If you follow our principles, you follow our teaching, you will have the goals and success, and all the accolades and freedom that you want. It takes time. This is why we teach this. Because most of these people out there are teaching people how to get rich in 30 days, which is hard for most people. And I did that a long time ago as well, jumping from program to program to program, teaching me these strategies, and I had less and less success because of it. Versus just focusing on the principles and the fundamentals that you are now and mastering my success as fast as possible and not falling prey to these not so questionable people, these questionable people on those strategies. But enough about that. That is a powerful concept, though. For those of you actually take a picture of this and write this down, take a picture of this screen and have it for your records. I have this on my lock screen on my phone. I see it every single day. I have it on my wall as well. I see this every single day because it always gets hard. There's always going to be hard days. And knowing this, that okay, if I stay the course, it will work out. But in summary, today we covered why should we make goals. We also broke down identifying financial priorities, the power of SMART goals, the 3 types of goals to set, and adjusting goals and overcoming obstacles. That was our main 5 points of today's training. Number 1 was why should we make goals? Because having goals make you 10 times more likely to achieve them, and 76% to 90% more likely to actually have success in that endeavor. Huge. Identifying financial priorities, simple. What is your highest debt interest rate or taxes or X, Y, and Z or timelines as well? Make that first and go down from there. And then the power of small goals. You want to make sure you break down these goals into small, digestible habits and actions that get us to our results as fast as possible. Again, I think habits and action is so much more important than results. Results are fickle. They come and go. Not promised to anybody. You can walk 30 days straight on achieving your goals and can still not happen. I hope it doesn't happen that way, but it could. But if I do it every single day, I know eventually it will pay off. If you pay yourself $5 a day, every single day, you'll be rich in 1 month, but you will be richer in 30 days. That's a guarantee. Or if you spend less money for a year on restaurants, you will have 5 to 25 to 100K. I know people that if they did that one little habit switch of spending less money in restaurants, they probably have like close to 7 figures a year. The people who spend like 140K on a meal, it's crazy. Obviously, it's a big group of them doing stuff in nice places, but it's crazy how fast our smart goals can help us know where we're going and adjust for our North Star. That is most important, our North Star. The three types of goals to set, again, short, medium, and long. Short is 0 to 1 year, medium is 1 to 5, and then long is 5+ years. This is big investments, retirement funds, and so forth. And again, finally, adjusting our goals and overcoming obstacles, adjust accordingly to what's going on in your life. So if you have any questions, as always, you can either message us if you're part of a prayer group. You have access to us whenever you want to. If not, go to the group and message people. Leave a message, comment in our group, in our community. Message for you back there as well. And also, if you have a question, I am positive someone else does too. So not only are you helping yourself, you're also helping others as well by asking questions in the group. We'll answer them for you as well. And again, every single week we also go live, have a live Q&A session for you too. So ask more questions as you see what's going on. As I said before, everybody's different. So everybody's priorities and goals and timeline is also different too. I want to help you. So come to our calls we do every single week. You can either show us your back office if you want to. You can show us what is going on in your life. Ask us real questions. We'll help you get past this as fast as possible to achieve that freedom, that goal that you have. And then to end off with one of my favorite quotes about goals that Tony Robbins made. The most important thing you can do to achieve your goals is to make sure that as soon as you set them, you immediately begin to create momentum. So today, hopefully, by watching this, and also last week too, you made a goal. You wrote one down in the beginning. You're top 3% in the world now. Now, I want you to do whatever it takes to get some kind of momentum after we leave this call. It could be as small as just telling your spouse or your partner, hey, this is my goal, this is my plan, let's make it happen. It could be as small as canceling subscriptions that you have and use that money for something else. Or making that call, or asking a question in the group. That is momentum. Or upgrading to buying our Mindful School paid version that have more stuff for you, more classes, and more support. These are all goals massive for your massive for your results in your life. Take momentum as fast as possible. Don't wait. Your life can change today, or can change in a year or longer. Or like most people, it can never change. A lot of people live the same year 60 years in a row. Let that sink in. A lot of people live the same exact year 60 years in a row. Don't let that be you. Obviously you're not. You're here right now. I believe in you. You guys got this. Thanks for popping on this call today and watching this. Here's to freedom. We're here for you as much as you need. And as always, we'll see you at the top. Thanks for being here.